Alright, let me try this again. So it's Friday, and like I said in my last video, this lift kit from Rough Country isn't made for a 2024 Ranger. So I'm looking into it to see how much of a difference can it be, right? So let's take a look at some of the stuff I see here. I think it might fit. Alright, so if you have a Ranger, this is a 2024 XLT 4x4. This lift kit is for a 20... What does it say? It says 2019 to 2021. Okay, this is all that's available right now. In other words, there's nothing available for this truck. BDS doesn't even have a lift for this kit. So it's just before I tear things apart and chopping things up, let's see what the differences are. Okay, so on the front cross member, which is this one right here, it looks like these centers are the same. Center from here to here. This is your lower control arm bushings. The dimensions are the same. I go, all right, that looks good. The width right here of these bushings, I think that's going to work. So that'll fit in there. Okay, so this is going to come out. I'm going to drop down to the new cross member. The new cross member is going to go up and bolt onto here. And so you're going to just lower all this down to there, right? Okay. So what also has to come down is the differential. This whole axle assembly right here drops down with the lower control arms. Okay, to do that, you got to relocate the differential, so this bracket gets moved down too. There's a lower bracket and there's an upper bracket. So here's the Rough Country part. All right, how's that going to work? Yeah, this part of the diff right here. Okay, there's a bolt on it. See the big bolt? That bolt comes out. This lowers down. So once you get the differential out of the way I see it, this is going to go in there. See, it's got the bolt hole, goes up in there. These two little holes here bolt to the new cross member. And this differential mount right here is going to fit between those two lower holes there, or the lower hole. So you got the upper hole, the lower hole, and the two in the back bolt together right in there. Actually, it's going upside down. It goes like it's going to go like that to lower the differential. So I checked all that out. That looks like it's going to work. I got to take a measurement and see if the centers are the same, like this, from this location over to center of this bracket. Because this is there's already nuts welded in there for this bracket to mount up to that. So that's one thing I got to check. Okay, so I don't look too bad on the front diff, but on the rear, this one you got to cut. You got to cut the lower this rear cross member out, because this whole diff is going to drop down. The cross member's in the way, right? Holy smokes. All right, so it's getting kind of dark out here already on me. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So it looks pretty tight up in there. See the diff back in there? Way back in there. That's got to come down. It looks awfully close to this side here. I might have to cut something on that just to make it fit. It's going to drop straight down. And then on the other side, this mount right here. So this is the diff, this is the axle tube for the passenger side. You got this mount, okay? That's what this is right here. Okay, so it looks about right, but it's not. I'm trying to reposition myself here. Yeah, the center of, let's say, this hole to here is only 4 inches. From here to here is 5.5. So it's farther over that way. So I'm thinking I got that new plasma cutter. I could just cut this off and move it over. Is that right? That might work. Well, what I'm looking at here, see the factory bracket goes over the top. See how the bolts is bolted up? It's bolted to that bracket. That bracket hooks up over the top. Whereas this bracket's going to be on the bottom. You can see the way that's made. This might work. I was checking the height differential here, you know, like from like that, yeah. So I don't know about that right now. Am I gonna make this work? I assume you could put the bolt in from the top, right? Bolt it down instead of bolting it up. Then I gotta measure the height, which isn't too bad, because if you go from the bottom of the cross member to the bottom of that bracket, that's 4.5 inches. Yeah. And if I check this one, bottom of the cross member to the top of that bracket, it is, where are we at? Like 4.25, 4 3/4 maybe. That might be workable. Just drop the bolt down. Get it? Get it? Yeah. Let me crawl over the other side and see what this other bracket looks like. There's a bracket on the other side of the diff. So I'm looking at the back of the truck. Let me crawl in over the other side and see. All right, guys, I could use a light, but right there, I'll get my hand in there. Right here, where my finger is, that's part of the differential bracket. Okay, so if you look to the right of that, there's 2 bolts. That bolts to the differential. So I got to see how that thing lowers down, because that whole bracket's going to have to drop down too. Now if we look at the differential case and the inside here, there's hardly any room. Is it gonna fit? Man, it's gonna be close. So you hit it with a hammer, right? Bash it in. I'll have to look at that. Now the instructions come with a template to cut these cross members. Yeah, because the sway bar's in the way. But as you can see, there's the dry shaft. That diff's got to come down. That's in the way. Man, it might be close. Once you cut it, there's no going back, right? It don't need that front axle, right? So, oh well. So another thing, a buddy of mine, he's building a custom car right now, and he bought some aftermarket control arms, and he went to go mount it up with his steering knuckle. He says, "Oh man, the ball joints don't fit with the steering knuckle he's got." So I go, "Oh man, that blows." So I guess the ball joints came with the control arms. He said, "Screw it, I got a lathe." So I guess he took some material off the ball joints and made them smaller so they fit properly in the holes. So that's another thing. Are those steering knuckles I got gonna work? Everything's got to fit just right. Ball joint The shaft here, this is the axle shaft's got to make up in that just right, bolt up right. Man, I don't know. So guys, this is a rough country kit, okay? The instructions on this are okay, but if you want some further instructions or just like, you know, familiarity, better pictures, you can go online to the BDS website. Get out of my way. Yeah, you can go online to the BDS website and see how they install their kit. Sometimes they have some better pictures. They're clearer. Yeah. See right here, there's the differential case with the 2 upper bolts I just showed you. They're showing that you have to take a 1/4 inch off that corner right there. Alright, I think you can do that. They said sand off a 1/4 inch. Oh, and there's their bracket that drops it down. Is that gonna work? Looks like it's slightly different. Well, maybe it is the same. Here's the front differential bracket I was telling you about. See, I think it's pretty damn close. I just don't want to get stuck after I take it all apart and find out, oh, it's not gonna work. Crap. So this is what you get with the rough country kit. Pretty similar to what I put on my Colorado. Just a basic kit. Steering knuckles, cross members, skid plate, strut spacers. These blocks here are the sway bar brackets. And in the back you got nuts and bolts and stuff. In the back you get U-bolts and lift blocks. 2 shocks, because you're going to use the factory shocks and springs. So if you look at the BDS kit, there's a lot more parts. Theirs come with tie rod ends. I don't know why you would want to put aftermarket tie rod ends on, but they do come with them. Same on the Colorado, came with the tie rod ends. It comes with, there should be a drive shaft spacer in there somewhere for the front drive shaft. I'd have to look at the parts here. Well guys, I'm trying to wrap it up here because it's getting dark. I think the mosquitoes are out. But so this is what the bottom, I mean, yeah, this would be the bottom. These are the cross members upside down, right? This is the skid plate. This is where your diff goes. There's the differential bracket. I want to see what the spread is approximately, because the spread from the rear the rear lower control arm and the front lower control arm, there's a spread between the bushings. So I'm just double checking. Hey, maybe that's different, but from the inside to the inside, it's about 14 inches. That's what I mounted. That's what I measured on the truck. So I think we're gonna be good there. Approximately, you know. So as you see, it's upside down. So what I need to figure, the other thing I gotta check is this right here. I already know it's off this way, but I gotta check the up and down. Might work. Might be able to squeeze it in there, right? All right. Let's put it back together tomorrow in the morning and we'll think about it. We'll see if I can get that bracket to move over. That'll be a project all on its own, just moving that bracket over, cutting it right, and And welded it back up right. Better lock up the truck. Cat might go in there and make himself a home. Like my lights. Killer.